We do. Because right now you don't look like you can pick us up.
I can.
Yeah, but I don't. But I would be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
But see, of him, I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't afraid of him.
I think it was just because he had on that salmon shirt.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with the shirt.
Yeah.
No, it don't have nothing to do with the shirt. I'm not gonna lie to you like that.
It's seasonal, and I'll be transparent. It's seasonal. I do look like that in the cooler months, but when I got to go to that beach and take the shirt off, I can't have nothing hanging nowhere.
Nothing was hanging. I look.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am O.
And I am Nigel Kamanichi.
And we are
Candid and Clear.
We are the best podcast that will bring you politics, current events, and relationship issues.
Let me tell you what I need you to do. Go out and like, comment, share, and subscribe across all social media platforms.
Well, like had I taken my shirt off, you wouldn't have seen all my abs in that particular moment.
I don't need to see them.
Okay.
I know they do.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, you couldn't see him the way I wanted you to see him.
Yeah, I don't want to see him like that. I want to see the other man. I like him. I like the winter months man. Yeah. I don't want the.
He got a little fluff on him.
It's loud.
He a little cornbread.
He ate cornbread, my couple beans.
He did.
He did good. I liked him. You know, as my grandmother would say, I like him.
It's a different crowd, and believe it or not, I do that off season, on season. You see what I'm saying? Now, over the years,
I don't see what you're saying because I just like him.
Well, over the years, now what's going to happen by the time we go back to that?
Yeah,
I'll be that size again, but this cut. I'll be there by July.
I don't believe you.
I love it when tourists love when you tell us you don't believe us. So we have you just gave me every reason to act a fool when I take baby, almost messed up. When I take baby girl her birthday. I'm good to, I love it.
I almost took the bait.
You almost, oh my goodness. When
all I can tell you is I like a certain look, but it don't like me.
I've had women tell me that the look that I'm almost looking for right now is too hard.
Yeah, it is.
Too hard of a look. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think we like a man that swole a little bit, but got a little bit of tender.
Just a little bit of tender. That's true. And I know it's a different, believe it or not, I'm cutting all this shit off. There's a different class of woman that likes certain bodies.
Yeah.
Like that grown and sexy woman,
he
got to have all the abs. He can have a little stomach right there. But if he got them shoulders and them arms right,
and they look good when the shirt stop right here.
Yeah. Shirt stop right there. And it ain't too popular.
Let you know if you mess with me, he coming for you. Do what you gonna get? This 2-piece and a pepper.
It's a grown man. It's a full grown man. You know.
Yeah.
And then it's just in me because from being a competitor, getting on stage and doing all that kind of bodybuilding shit. It's a certain look I'm looking for, and we literally do sacrifice a whole lot of size for that clean look. But nonetheless, what I was saying was, you mentioned
where was you?
What needs to be done to activate a thing in you? Okay,
as a woman, yeah,
as a woman,
a woman.
But I'm not going to limit that to women. I'm going to put it on people because I think everybody has that.
Well, but no, let's take. Okay.
You don't think so?
Well, let's do this. They do. But I think let's stick with the women because men expect us in this day and time to jump out of our skin when we first meet them. It starts with you.
Interesting.
Everything starts with the man. The way that Jesus did it in the garden, it started with you.
I agree with everything starts with the man, but I've never expected a woman to jump through hoops because I was raised to be the pursuant. Right, but these men are not. They have switched over and they're in feminine energy thinking that they are the prize. Okay. So, where I was going was when you have to do that thing that everybody has that thing that they need to motivate them or get their attention. Right? But I think the problem is when we get the person's attention, okay, we feel like it's mission accomplished, and that's not something we have to continuously do to keep their attention. Right. So we get lax. So now that person has to ask for stuff over and over and over. Hey.
I don't even think they start off strong. I'm going to be honest with you.
You know what? I agree. I agree because everybody's so hurt. Everybody's been through so much. Everybody's been through the toxic relationships. And now it's just a matter of, oh, well, I want to see how you show up for me before I do anything. If I decide to do anything,
there's definitely a lot of that.
You see what I'm saying?
And I'm not with that at all.
Yeah, that's
right. I don't understand that at all. That whole you gotta show up a certain way, you gotta do this, you gotta do that,
right,
or whatever. I just don't get it. But okay,
interesting.
It's for me. It's just about how whatever. I am a woman. Okay. I am wired to receive.
Okay.
Whatever you transmit to me is what I'm going to reciprocate.
Facts.
If you don't transmit anything, I'll not reciprocate anything, and that's okay too.
I get it.
And we're gonna go there. I'm going to follow your lead. Now you asked me to submit. Except for when I do, when I want to follow the principles of submission, it becomes an issue.
I understand that. I think where we get lost is there's a certain level of safety that you have to be given to submit, number one. I feel that in a lot of cases, I'm going to get on my sisters for a moment. In a lot of cases, women get comfortable in that state and forget to reciprocate. The modern woman.
Well, let me just say this. Ratchet it back because I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Where I'm at is in the beginning.
Okay.
In the beginning. Okay. In the beginning, so I'm honoring. Well, I'm in the principle of submission. You will find out if I can do it if you start off.
Well, see.
No,
that's because now I got to trust you. Oh, what have you done for me to trust you out the gate, boo?
But in the beginning, I'm operating under the principle. There is no trust needed here. Whatever you show me, I'll reciprocate. And we'll build to that space over time. But it starts with the man, and men don't own that. They just come in and want to tell us what we didn't do, how we didn't show up, but you're not showing up.
Here's why I say men should own that. The more men own that, the more leverage we have. Hold up, ma'am. I showed up like I was supposed to.
Right.
You have yet to reciprocate what I need you to reciprocate.
That's true.
Now we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because you ranting and raving about what you want in a man, and I'm giving you that. And you have gotten so comfortable to where you can't even reciprocate. Oh, you know what? You have not even been in a good relationship. You haven't had a healthy relationship in your life. And here you are in the beginning stages of this one, and you don't know how to receive healthy relationship pillars starting off.
Okay, that's true. But we jumped ahead in that, like I said, I just need you to start. If you start, you will know exactly who I am. You will understand. You will understand if I am
off the rip.
If I'm a taker, no, you will know if I'm a taker.
Yes, or receiver.
If I just showed up to take, it ain't even about receiving. Really? You will know if I'm a taker. If I am a taker, everything will be about me. I will be selfish, and I will always want you to give. Now, there's another subset of women who are independent and don't fully understand how to receive. You will know if you got to coach me on how to receive what you're giving me.
I see that.
Right? You will understand who I am, that I'm so used to being dependent on self that I don't know how to receive from another individual. Not that I don't want to, I don't know how. Right? You will understand that. And then the other thing, obviously, the Magna Carta is if you get with me and I am ready and healed, and you know that you can pour into my cup and I pour back.
That's a big one. That's a big one, and I'm glad we're in the beginning because everybody think they healed until that first test. Because all I have to do, since you're healed, all I have to do is do something that's natural human nature that reminds you of what your ex did to you, and now you crashing out.
Right.
Because you haven't healed.
And because it's a trigger. Right? And then the same thing for a man, if I do something that doesn't make sense to you, and instead of saying, hey, when you do that, it makes me feel like, or, hey, babe, if this happens, it would be best for me if you could support me by doing.
Because how many women are in the space of maturity to receive said constructive criticism in a relationship?
Now, I don't know. But let me say this. I don't know. I believe in this moment, the world is full of takers. But for me, I like to talk. But a lot of people don't like to talk or listen.
Or be asked anything.
Right. Because they feel like they're being chastised.
Interrogated.
Is that another? And even if you preface it with, hey, I want to get an understanding. Let's just get an understanding. And all that get an understanding.
And I think a big part of that, I was reading something that was talking about the biggest issue of today that ruins relationships, second to finances, is communication. A lot of people do not understand the basic fundamentals of the English language to communicate.
Sis, let me tell you something. Do not talk at your man and talk to your homegirls.
Wow. I'm about to get up and run. I don't think I finished this podcast. What did you say?
Let me say that again, sisters. Do not talk at your man and talk to your homegirls.
Or homeboys.
Or whoever. Don't do that. Now, I just gave you $1 million worth of game.
Wow.
Talk to your man. And then you can do whatever you want to with the rest of them. But talk to him, not at him. Because I feel like a lot of sisters make a habit of talking at men, not talking to men. There is a reason when I get angry, you can ask, he will tell you everything is black man. It is the indicator for you to know that I'm not happy, right? But I don't want to call you out your name because I want you to listen. If I start off disrespecting you, you will never listen.
Shut down.
Yeah. You will walk off. You will tell me, like that message I sent you from Kevin Gates, I'm getting ready to rest. I don't want to talk about this no more.
Thanks.
This is not serving me. Right. You won't.
Here's what I think happens in those moments. The person that you're with, and I'm going to take this and make it, I'm going to take the gender out of it. Don't talk at your partner and talk to your homeboys and homegirls. And I think that happens so much simply because we've gotten comfortable with our person. Because see, when I'm frustrated, I get to take it out on you.
No.
And you just supposed to accept it.
No.
Now, when I leave here with my homegirls, I'm frustrated about whatever. That has nothing to do with you. But because you're right here, I'm going to take it out on you. But when I get with my homegirls and my homeboys,
that's immaturity.
I'm turned up 1,000.
That's immaturity. That's not an excuse. Yeah. No, you are not my punching bag. No, you are not. The question is, how do you talk to your person? See, I pillow talk. I like to. This is me. You do whatever works for y'all. I like to get in the bed with my contraptions, all of them, in the middle, and I know they're in the middle, and I'm not moving them, and have a conversation right there. I think it is the most relaxed time to have a conversation. I believe it is the easiest time to have a conversation. I can be honest right there because there's nothing else. It's not about looking good. It's not about being in control. As people would say, the veil is off.
Facts.
See, we don't have anything clouding what we're doing.
Facts.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's just that. So everybody here is defenseless. Make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So I don't have to worry about, I'm going to just do it like this. I don't have to worry about, the security guard. I'm not talking to him. I'm not talking to him in front of people.
Facts.
I'm not talking to him around his friends. This is just and Nigel. We don't have anything else. We don't have titles, right? We don't have situations around us. We don't have any of those dynamics going on. We don't have a power struggle here. You don't have to contend with any other things. My assistant's not here. Your assistant's not here. We don't have any of that we have to uphold. It's just us. So I'm going to do what I always do, but now I'm naked and not afraid.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's a vulnerability thing.
It is a vulnerability. Why is it that? Because here's the problem. When your friends turn their back on you, mm-hmm. I'm right here. Mm-hmm. When your friends don't show up the way you need them to, mm-hmm. I'm right here. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I saw your friends do you dirty. You didn't go left on them like you did on me for something far less than 1,000th of that. Mm-hmm. You crashed out on me for something that had nothing to do with just because you was just having a bad day. You gave me your ass to kiss. But when your homeboy or your homegirl didn't show up for you at all and gave you the ass to kiss, when you talk to them again, you didn't have that nasty energy that you had with me.
So let's do it a different way. What if it was your family?
Same thing. Mm-hmm. That's interesting that we do our partners that way.
Not me, but I mean,
I definitely don't.
I don't.
I definitely don't.
I think it's interesting that people treat people that they say they love and can't live without that way.
We hurt the people we say we love the most.
A lot of times people do. But I think if you're intentional in that relationship, right? And the other thing is, what have you seen? Did you grow up in that environment? I didn't grow up in that environment. I want to edify you. I want to support you. What I do for people I love, my love language is to take care of them. You met Tia over the weekend, and she was in town from California, and she said to me, "You are not a doter. You will not dote. You will not coddle. You will not do that. But you will bring me into your house and care for me. The bed heater's on. The dinner is made. The wine is poured. Everything that I like, you will do." And this is true of me.
That has to be in you, though. So
I think here's the thing. I'm not even going to go. Everybody always makes it, is it in you or it's not in you? I think you have to be intentional. I think you have to be purposeful.
Yes.
I think you have to be intentional. When I love you, my love language is showing care for you. I would like to make everything easy for you, regardless of the situation.
Yes.
Right.
You done took your stress out on me that I had nothing to do with. I'm your punching bag.
I'm not that. I'm not your punching bag.
I'm definitely not. But I'm saying what happens because it's in us after we get dumped on. Yeah. We still want to show up and care for you.
Yeah. Well, I want to vent to you about what's going on, and then I want to care for you. And the other thing is, in my mind, and I could be wrong to a lot of people, if a man protects and provides, he should come home to a clean house. He should come home to a good smelling house. He should come home to a safe space. And I'm going to be honest with you, sir, I ain't clean it. Somebody else did that. But it should be put together so he can protect and provide for me. And I can provide a place for him to be vulnerable and safe.
It's extremely difficult to feel safe while vulnerable in an environment when you are not granted the ability to express what you need to be vulnerable and safe.
Right. Or how you feel.
Anytime. If it turns into, I'm going to say this to y'all. This ain't no woman thing. This ain't no men thing. This is a partner thing. If I come to you as a partner, your person, and I say, "Hey, babe, I need your help with this. It hurts me when you did this." And your first response is, "I didn't do that." Well, wait a minute. I'm giving you my point of view, my experience in the matter. So that's one person who's going to decline the actions that they've done to hurt you initially. Okay. Number two, if I bring something to you that hurt me and I say, "Hey, babe, this rubbed me the one way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10," or and it turns into an argument because you don't remember the situation that way. Again, I'm giving you my point of view of the matter. I need y'all to understand you are showing that person at your core how much you genuinely care about facilitating what they need in that particular relationship. If your partner, think about it this way. Just do a self-check. If your partner came to you and told you you offended them in any way, form, or fashion, and your first response was, "No, I didn't," you might want to have a talk with somebody. Because at the end of the day, if I do something to offend you and I didn't know I did, My first thing, whoa, I had no idea I did that. How can I fix it? Pause. An apology don't mean a damn thing if you are not following up with actions to correct what caused the apology in the first place.
Well, what created the need
What
for
created
apology?
need? There you go. Thank you. What created the need for the apology? And I see that a lot.
I think I'm going to give you this situation this way. I gave a person a peach cobbler.
I recall.
For somebody else.
Yes.
They thought that I wanted to tell them how to store the peach cobbler. I did try to tell them how to store the peach cobbler because I make them all the time and transport them. And I know the containers for the small peach cobbler. In a loaf container, the top is not as stable as it should be. That individual took that experience back and told somebody that I was controlling. What they didn't know, because they did not ask me and they didn't come to me, they went and talked to somebody else about what they perceived me to be doing. Two things. I did not make that peach cobbler the way I made yours. When I make yours, I use peaches from a farm. They have less juice, right? When I made this one, because it was not for you, I used peaches from a can. Peaches in a can have more juice. Therefore, I overfilled the peach cobbler container with juice. I did not want you to wear the peach cobbler
to where you was going,
or the top to come off. So I was trying to give you parameters about how to store it, because I knew that this peach cobbler wasn't created under the same conditions as which I create yours, right? Because it was from somebody that I didn't care that much about. So they can have store-bought peaches as opposed to peaches from the farm. And again, you don't understand all the conditions. But you took what I was trying to do as control instead of simply just asking me or saying, hey, I didn't like when you tried to tell me about the peach cobbler. If you would have said that to me, I would have told you why I did it. Normally, I don't tell you anything about how to store the peach cobbler, but the conditions are different.
That's huge, because now we're going to the why behind the what.
Exactly.
We get offended by the what before we know the why.
Right. And why is that? Why didn't you ask me? But you made a complete assessment of who you thought I was and went out and told somebody else. Never brought that to me at all. Ever. And that's crazy to me.
We live in an age to where
there are two things. We always say this. We don't speak ego. I have never spake ego. And shout out to Hollywood Baby, because he gave me that line. I don't speak ego. I don't. And if you assume when you dealing with me that you get an ego, well, you never ask. You never question it. Just made that assumption.
Why are my assumptions of you wrong to a point that you can point them out, but your assumptions of me are always right out the gate?
Well, again, because I think it lies in the maturity of the person in which you deal with. Most people are looking for somebody to blame.
I agree.
They're looking for a place to lay blame. I don't really care whose fault it is. I want to know how we avoid being here.
When you grow up in a toxic environment to where everything is your fault because the people who are governing said space aren't mature enough, we're so concerned about you spilt the milk. We're not paying attention to the milk is running all over the floor. We need to stop it.
Yeah.
And then we're so concerned about the spilt milk, we're not concerned about how to prevent that from happening again.
Or the slip and fall that's going to happen because the milk is still on the floor, because we're arguing about who spilled the milk when that doesn't matter. It's who's cleaning up the milk. Do we have the tools to get the milk up? How do we prevent this from happening again? Should we take the milk out of that glass container that I buy mine in and put it in something else so it's not slippery in your hand?
It's one thing I learned in the military. There's one of the most valuable things I learned in the United States Air Force is how, if you very rarely find a recording of it because they're very, very careful about it. But if you can find a video of how the United States Air Force responds to a fuel spill, it is absolutely incredible. Number one, You got this fuel coming out of this truck at 300 gallons a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens, the bladder overfills, either the plane decides to vent and
Mm-hmm.
literally just pee this fuel out onto the runway.
Right.
The procedures to stop and contain that fuel spill, it is absolutely amazing to watch. And I've always said, if we would respond to our relationships, like the airmen on that airfield respond to that fuel spill, a lot of things will be salvaged.
Well, let's talk about it, because the reality is it is the dance of a ballerina. It is a coordinated effort, as pretty as it is. Every movement, every motion has been thought about.
Stay right there. Let me help y'all out. In the United States Air Force, when that fuel hits that ground, our objective in that moment is not how the fuel was spilled. That doesn't matter. What we need to do, we need to contain it so that we don't lose it, so that we can still use it. I'm going to say that one more time because you wasn't listening. When the spill happens, our focus is to contain it so that we don't lose it, so that we can still use it. Yes, we're going to get it off that ground and we're going to run it right back through that filtration system. QC and I can come out there with the lab. We're going to lab test it. We're going to make sure it's just as good as it was before it came out the truck the first time. And we're going to put it back on that plane. What if you did your relationship like that? Or you focused on the fact that the fuel's on the ground?
I don't think people experience to learn. And what I mean when I say that is, if we have a hiccup, how can we learn from this? Again, my whole goal is to never be here again.
It's a learning opportunity.
It's a learning opportunity.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, wait a minute.
Happens.
It is an opportunity
to
learn. It is an opportunity
to learn.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I need you to understand that everything that happens in the beginning, these are growing pains, love. Yeah, we all in love with each other. Yeah, we like each other. Yeah, we got good energy. Yeah, we trying to see where this can go. But we got to learn each other. Nobody walks into a relationship just knowing. And all the comments, all the sisters that come for me in the comments, if you knew your man, let me tell you something. Honey, I know my man, but I got to learn
your man too.
What you said.
That's your problem.
And Barbara and Shirley taught you that.
That is your problem.
Yeah.
You know what? You learn your man for where he is right now, but the goal is progression. So the both of you can progress to a point. You're going to have to constantly be learning, reassessing each other all the time. Don't ever get to the point where you're comfortable thinking you know your partner.
That's it. I'm not the same woman at 25 as I am at 35.
Go back, because I want you to bless the people.
Yeah.
You said we're in the beginning stages.
We're in the beginning stages.
Bless the people. How long? How many years is the beginning stages?
Oh, Jesus.
No, stay right there. I love it. Because I asked that on purpose. Well, how many years?
Let me tell you this. 7 is the number of completion.
If you can make it.
If you can make it through a 7-year cycle. Right. If you can make it through 7 years.
That's a fact.
I'm just giving you biblical game.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. Because there are a lot of things in the multiples of 7 that you learn. Second set of 7 years you learn is not like the first. Have to constantly reinvent yourself. What does my partner need today? Again, guys, I am a proponent of a stop, start, and continue conversation. At least every 6 months.
Whoa. You mean to tell me if we talk about something, we come back to it?
Well, yeah, we revisit because we...
Why I got to talk about that again? I thought we already had the conversation.
We have to know what we're going to stop, start, and continue. If I get you every January, even if I'm not doing it every 6 months, let's just say some of us are lazy, we do it every January. Hey, baby, I just want to review our relationship over the last year. Tell me what you need more of. Tell me what you need me to stop, and tell me what you need less of. I'm trying to give you what you need. I am intentional in giving you what you need.
I understand that. But I've been through so much trauma. I got issues right there. I don't know how to receive that. And it's coming off.
Yeah, but I'm going to get you a therapist.
It's coming off real defensive.
Okay. When you
didn't
get ready
say it the way I needed you to say it. Okay. How I need to say it. Well, I don't know how you're supposed to say it.
Okay.
But I know I ain't like the way you said it. It's your tone.
Let's do this. We're not communicating with each other very well. So I'm going to get us an intermediary. Right. Now, if you're in church, you know they went to the altar for you. and they prayed the prayers that you couldn't pray.
The intercessors.
They're the intercessors.
Yes,
so
indeed.
A therapist in between you and your mate or coach is a person that's going to sit in the middle and break down what you won't say, all the things that you're trying to hide from and run from. We're going to shine light on deficiencies in both, and we're going to explain it and make it plain. Unlike the old preachers, we're going to make it plain for you so you understand. But you've got to be willing to sit right here like this with the person in the middle doing all of the work. You've got to be comfortable doing the work. And when you first go to therapy, you know this, it's a whole lot of arguing that happens because they call out and they shine light on places that you are actively trying to shy away from, that you are trying to hide, that you don't want anybody to see. So in the uncovering, it leads to a lot of friction. So it'll feel like in the beginning, it's not working. This is not working. You don't understand me. This is not working for us. It's serving no purpose at all. We're wasting our money. No, we're not. We're learning each other. These are growing pains. They will grow you. It's like anything else in life. If you want a diamond, put some weight on it and some heat on it.
That's a whole lot of pressure.
It's a whole lot of pressure to get that thing to shine.
Mountains make diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight.
That is extremely interesting. Now, one thing you sent me in the notes that I wanted to deal with.
What do you want to deal with this morning?
Feeling like the emotional caretaker instead of a partner.
Mm-hmm. This is guys in your relationship always referencing a part. I sent him notes for today, but it's about knowing what's missing. And that's about knowing what you're not getting. And I'm going to be honest, that is unequally yoked.
Wow.
Because in that moment, you are giving more than you are receiving, and you're giving without receiving what you need at all. Because you're caretaking for a grown-up who's not even interested in caretaking for you.
Stay right there. Stay.
Okay, sorry.
Because see how here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
My anecdotal experience.
Mm-hmm.
How are you okay knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on time, every time, the way I said I was going to do it? Mm-hmm. How is it remotely possible for you to continuously receive that and not think about what I need from you?
I have told you 600 times they are immature, they are selfish, they are narcissists. I don't have any more rationale for that. They cannot see anybody else. The concept of another person in need, they don't even understand because all they see is them.
How many times does, I'm gonna ask y'all, how many times does your partner have to cater to you in your moment of need, and you just don't realize that a lot of times, more often than should be, they're having to cater to you in your moment of needs at the exact time you were supposed to show up for them? It's just a question. How long are you going to live in that selfish space until you say, you know what, I need to fix this?
Right.
Because the problem with people like us is that's who we are. We want to make sure you're okay.
Yes.
And a lot of times I've learned us coming to you to make sure you're okay often turns into us getting that aggression taken out on us.
It does.
And I'm here to help.
Right. It does. Because the person doesn't have the courage for where the anger should be directed to go there and dump it there. And the reality is that I think you really have to be balanced. You have to pursue your life in a space where balance is important, and it's important to me. And you know that if you don't show up with the energy that you say, I will cut you off. You know that I'm the queen of block.com. I don't care what you thought. I will block you mid text.
That's my problem.
The boundaries.
I give too many chances.
Well, the boundaries are real clear, right? I'm gonna say this. I got divorced, and you know this, and I know exactly why I divorced.
Facts.
There was a pattern
Likewise.
of you not showing up for
Likewise.
me. Okay. But I knew this, but it stemmed from my childhood. I felt that way about my father. He was a great provider, but he never came to a ballet recital. He never came to a basketball game. And therefore, as a little girl, I felt abandoned. In my relationship, we started off one way when I was married. Then you started saying, hey, can you go to the family event without me? Do you mind if I stay home? Do you mind if I stay home? When I went to Europe and you didn't show up, it was the grandest stage ever to not show up for me. And I walked away. Now, most people do not know why they left. It was not my pride.
No, not at all.
No. But I had reached the end all be all of not showing up.
Thank you for that. You blessed me with something, because growing up, it's amazing. Now, some would call that a trauma. Mm-hmm. But here's also what I think could be seen as a trauma. I could be saying it wrong. A lot of y'all got degrees in it, but I'm articulating the best I can. I grew up in a household to where no matter what, one of my parents were there. Yeah. And if the other one weren't, they were working. And in the important moments, one of the most important moments of my life, my dad had to work. And I was at state solo and ensemble. Mom was there. Everybody was there except Dad. And the particular solo, for those of you who are into music, trumpet, Carnival of Venice, played that in high school. So I'm there, I'm playing, and it's broken up into 5 sections, 5 big parts. The most intricate parts of the solo was where my anxiety would peak, right? Okay, I knew I was a beast on the horn, but at the same time, this is still a hard part. Like you don't just pick this solo, you know. And in that moment, right before that peak started, my dad, in uniform, lieutenant of the sheriff's department, walks right in the back stadium doors, like opens up and walks in. He tried to walk in silently, but I saw him walk in. Anxiety subsided. The reason I'm saying that, because in relationships, that's how I show up, and I'm expecting that.
And here is the thing. I will be honest with you. My mom and dad were that for each other. I didn't feel like my dad was that for me.
Wow.
So in my partner, I wanted that.
Got you.
When I realized that I was never going to get it,
wow,
I walked away.
I think, and you know, the walking, and let's go to it, because you're a product of your environment, right?
Yeah.
I watched so many things in that old school culture. We 70s babies. It is what it is.
Yeah, we are.
We Generation X.
Yeah.
All right. So we saw them, no matter what, stick it through. Okay. So, and that's a big problem for me, because before I walk away, 9 chances out of 10 I won't. But I need you to understand, when I'm in a space where I'm showing up and I'm catering and I'm showing up and I'm catering and I'm being reminded by your lack of action that my needs aren't being met.
Where your needs aren't important.
Or where they're not important to protect my heart, I'm going to scale back on these things so I don't develop an enmity towards you, so that I don't hate you. I'm going to stop doing all of these wonderful things that you love me to do and show up for you, that I'm not getting in return the way I asked you. Or every single time I get what I need from you, I have to ask for it several times.
I think two things. Down. I don't need to pull back. I need to leave. I need to pack up all of my toys and leave. There has to be emotional reciprocity.
You know what? This is therapy for me right now. This is therapy for me right now.
There has got to be.
Here's what happens. Here's what's happened every single time in my life. The moment I don't feel that reciprocity or the energy thereof that I'm giving, I'm going to shut down and you're going to leave. Because I'm not going to be the person you met. I'm not going to be the person you were dating in the beginning that was just so free and giving and open and kind-hearted and giving you all of this, showering you with all of that. It's going to stop. And then you're going to leave.
Well, that's true because they're selfish and narcissistic and only focused on them. But I just think I will reestablish my boundaries and I will remove myself.
Interesting.
I am not going to stay somewhere where my needs are not being met. And that's the reality. I am a caterer. I am a giver. I am not loud. I am not noisy like I am in real life. You don't see me on social media. In most cases, I'm a ghost. And you know that. And I'm just not going to do it. Listen, the place where I have to fight with you, the place where I have to constantly remind you of what my needs are and how to give them to me is of no interest to me.
Wow.
Doesn't interest me.
Wow.
So because it doesn't interest me, I don't stay. I won't stay there. It's a waste of my energy. I need my energy for other things.
I'm gonna say this in front of people. Like, I don't know what you was going through yesterday when you was writing the notes, but you did this. These are some great notes. Cliff ain't got nothing on your notes. Cause the next, let me tell you something. I'm about to throw my phone. You owe me a phone. You owe me a phone. You said they offer surface support, but miss key moments.
Because it's about the optics.
You're playing in my face now.
Yeah. Well, it's about the optics for you. If there's an opportunity to be seen at an event with BodyByO, again, it is
the key moment.
Surface level. Surface level.
See the key moment.
The optics to a lot of people are important.
I am, and it's making sense
because you can put a Louis Vuitton outfit on a battered soul. You can dress it up and tell everybody it's high class.
Because a key moment for me, not the moments for the general public for me. It's that thing you said you was gonna do, and when you didn't do it, you didn't even say anything.
The key moments are never those moments for anybody.
Come on, man, y'all don't pay attention, man. Like when you tell your partner you gonna do something, and you don't do it for whatever reason. Reason could be valid. Open your mouth. Say something.
Let me just tell you.
And why is apology so hard? Ladies and gentlemen, I am O.
And I am Nigel Comaneci.
And we are
Candid and Clear.
We are the best podcast that will bring you politics, current events, and relationship issues.
Let me tell you what I need you to do. Go out and like, comment, share, and subscribe across all social media platforms.
And like, comment,
share, subscribe.